Here are the biggest points from the autumn budget 2024.
And how it will affect specifically landlords and tenants. Now, people watching the budget might not realize how it will affect them and they need a bit of a breakdown. So we're going to explain that to you if you're looking to buy a property or considering it at the moment.
So the first point is they increase stamp duty on second homes. So if you're buying a second property, this is going to go from 3% to 5%.
Which can be considered as a big jump. For example, if you're buying a property that's worth £100,000, let's say the stamp duty was originally 3%, so basically £3,000 on the property, and then it goes down, it goes up to 5%. That will basically be £5,000, so that's another £2,000. Now, if you were to factor this into a property that's £500,000 in London, then you're looking about like £10,000 to £15,000 extra on top of what you're going to pay right now.
And the worst thing is, you'd think they'll give you a few months to prepare for this change. Well, no, that's not the case. They literally put it into effect immediately. So basically, the next day after they announced it.
Think of it this way: if you're actually buying a property right now, and let's suppose let's say you were completing one day after the budget was released. So essentially, you would have to pay another, let's say £5,000 to £10,000 extra cash. This is not loaned anything. You can't get a loan for this. This is basically the stamp duty that you have to pay up front. And this will cause huge issues for estate agents, solicitors. Liz will give you an example.
So just imagine I'm in a property chain and I'm buying an additional property and I can't afford the increase in stamp duty. This will essentially affect everyone else in the chain.
No. Sorry.
So if I drop out, everything will fall through.
Now you can imagine how busy estate agents are going to be trying to hold property purchases together, but the property market definitely will be affected by this because it's an immediate change and it's a big shock. Can you imagine somebody who's gone through a 6-month process and then finds out a change was made overnight, and then the solicitor calls them in the morning and say, look, your stamp duty is now increased by a few thousand to tens of thousands, depending on where you're purchasing in the country. I think this is really unfair. Go on.
I think this is really unfair.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys would agree.
I mean, we purchased a property just a few months ago. Well, if you can imagine if we were affected by this, I would not be happy. I would probably renegotiate with the seller. We like to flip properties, so we're all about budget. And if it increases by another £5,000, that's taking away our profit immediately.
So this change will affect landlords and it will make it more expensive for them to buy properties, and there'll be less landlords entering the market.
I do think that landlords will be thinking twice about buying an additional home simply because of this extra charge, especially after all the changes, which I'm not going to elaborate on now, but there's a lot of them. And there's no incentive for landlords to stay in the market. Another point that's changed that could affect landlords as well, that will affect landlords, is the EPC rating. Rishi Sunak taking this out of the budget, if I can remember correctly. So you need to improve your property to bring it up to a level C at least, or a letter C grade, which is basically improving the efficiency of the property. But this can cost you anything between £5,000 to £15,000. Now, Labour brought this back in, and this could be a huge hit against landlords, and a lot of people might be selling up because they simply can't afford to do that to that property. If their property is very old, it'll cost them a lot more money in order to get it up to standard. And this could be another push out for landlords.
Guys, also keeping in mind that 30% of landlords have sold this year and another 50 are considering leaving. Now with these changes, this is only going to increase.
And as a result of this, rents will go up. I know I keep saying that for every change that's happening this year, but it is what it is. And I can't see it any other way than it really is. If any landlords that are staying in the market right now will increase their rent with any given amount of time in the future, like next year, for example. But how much can people really afford?
So we're quite involved in property, and these were like the main points that we were concerned about. And that's why we wanted to make a video on it. Having said that, there are a lot of other changes, such as NI contributions, inheritance tax, and many more.
But those changes wouldn't be as applicable to landlords, tenants, as much as the ones we've mentioned. If you do have any questions about the budget, then you can put them down below.
Guys, there will be loads of changes as a result of this. And what we're gonna do is keep you up to date on this channel. And if you wanna stay up to date, then make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And it's not just property updates we give you. We also do loads of renovations. We flip property and we show you in detail, day by day, what we do, when we do it.